Sober Girls Yoga by the Mindful Life Practice. Hi yogis, welcome back to our intuitive series, and this is our 10-part series to dive deep into the tissues and ligaments and also the yamas and niyamas, which are the philosophy of our yoga practice. Today's practice is themed around Asteya, which is non-stealing. So I'm going to invite you for the beginning to practice a mudra called hasta mudra. We're going to place our palms in front of us and place them face up. You can close the eyes or just soften the gaze. Whatever feels most safe and comfortable for you. As you take deep breaths in and out, let your lungs and chest fill with air. Letting that air move all the way to the belly and up through the lungs. Exhaling, emptying. So our practice today revolves around the attention of Asteya. And I'm wondering, what does non-stealing mean to you? How can you practice non-stealing? Take a few more breaths, exactly as we are. And just gather your palms into your heart center, and we'll move our hands all the way down to the base of the belly. Lift the arms up towards the sky, and just do a small lateral side bend before we move into our stretch. Lifting all the way up, moving the opposite way. And then let's lift our arms up towards the sky and just release that grip and come onto the hands and the knees. So come into a tabletop pose. Maybe you move through a few cat-cows. And the first pose that we're going to come into for this practice is called melting heart. So you're going to come all the way into a neutral. Walk your hands forward. And then just bring your forehead to rest on the mat. So what does the practice of Asteya mean to you? The thing about Asteya is that I think sometimes we hear Asteya and we think about big things, like I haven't broken into a bank, I haven't stolen something massive.
But Asteya can also be about little things. Little things like taking someone's words, taking someone's ideas. Even the littlest things, like my teacher, Rolf Gates, has a favorite story of mine about Asteya in his book. He speaks about a time when he was on a yoga retreat in Mexico. He was somewhere down south. And he was taking all of the posters off the wall, and he used scissors to remove the posters off the wall. And then he thought that these scissors would come in handy the next time he had a yoga retreat in Mexico at this same place, which wasn't long away. And so he tucked those scissors into his bag. And then what he realized was that when he went to check out, the woman at the checkout asked him for those scissors, and she explained to him that scissors do not grow on trees. And this was when he understood the importance of not taking what is not yours. Let's take a few more breaths in this melting heart. And then we're going to come all the way up. So we're going to take our palms all the way up. Come all the way up into a tabletop. And then leave your left palm where it is. Lift your right arm all the way up. Thread your right arm under so you land on the shoulder and on the cheek. And then maybe you lift the arm around and hook it near the hip. What I love about this story is that Rolf is speaking about, mistakes he's made on the path of yoga when he's well into his yoga career. And it shows that all of us are humans, right? We all make mistakes. We all sometimes fall from grace. And all we have to do is just do the best we can to make it better. And so I want to give you an example of this. When I first started the Mindful Life practice, I think some of the choices that I was making were not being done with Asteya in mind. And so one of those choices that I made was all of the merchandise that I was selling for the Mindful Life practice was all phrases that I had heard in yoga classes. And I honestly didn't really think much of it, right? Because you find merchandise or you find ideas on the internet that tons of people copy and reproduce and reuse, right? Like yoga only works if you show up, or be your own healer, right? But these phrases originated somewhere, and by me reproducing them without being really thoughtful about where these phrases originated from and whether I had the right to reproduce them, this was me not really being reflective on how to practice Asteya. Let's take one more breath. And then we're going to lift all the way up. So we're going to land our left palm and then lift all the way up. And then move into this shape on the opposite side. So let's lift our left arm up, big breath in. And then thread our left arm under and come onto the cheek. And you can leave your right palm or maybe hook it all the way around. And then the interesting thing that happened was that one person got very upset that I had used their words. And in my mind, it was just a phrase that had been heard in yoga and reproduced and, passed on from generation to generation and teacher to teacher. And I had no intention of causing harm. And it was a really excellent opportunity for me to pause and to realize that I had caused harm. And then see if I could make it better. And I think sometimes our immediate reaction to these things is to send a newsletter, post it on our feed, create a bit of drama around it. But my immediate reaction was, okay, how can I practice satya, which is truth? And how can I practice ahimsa, which is love? And how can I practice asteya, which is non-stealing? All right, let's take one more breath. And then we're going to gently unwind and land the right palm and land the left palm. And then the next shape that we're going to come into is a child's pose. So you're going to bring your toes to touch. Sit your hips back on your heels, and then maybe bring your bolster and slowly start to bring your body forward. You can just snuggle onto the bolster. So I thought a lot about how can I practice Asteya, how can I practice ahimsa, how can I practice satya? And if I spiral into a headspace of like, I'm a bad person because I've done this, then that's not going to help anyone, right? Especially me. So I paused and I reflected and I thought, me posting something on Instagram without this person's permission is probably going to create more drama, even if it's an apology post. Everyone's going to jump in on their opinions on whether or not using the phrase is okay. And I don't need to be the person that's creating this kind of drama amongst my Instagram community unless I know that this is wanted, right? Know that this conversation is wanted to be had. And so I stopped selling the merchandise and I messaged the person and I said, I want to post an acknowledgement. And they said that they didn't want that. And that was it, right? I know my truth. I know that I acted with love. I know that I changed what I was doing, my actions, so that I wasn't stealing. And that's all I can do, right? And then I just let it go. That's aparigraha, letting go. And I think the reality is that we have to know as human beings that we are going to make mistakes, right? We are going to do things that are not correct. And that's part of life. And one of my least favorite things in the world is cancel culture, because I don't think anyone should be canceled, because we're all on this journey where we're learning and we're growing and we're becoming better than we were the day before, right? So what does it mean to you to practice Asteya? This goes beyond the practice of, you know, not robbing a bank or not stealing someone else's money, not stealing someone else's belongings. What does it mean to not take what is not yours to take? Take a few more breaths in this child's pose. And then I want to invite you to come all the way up. So you're going to roll all the way up to seated. And then just slide your cushion to the side. We're going to roll all the way around onto our bottoms. And just snuggle all the way forward. So your back body is going to release down onto the mat. And then just draw your knees into your chest, open your arms into a T or a cactus, and then drop both knees over to the right. So we're coming into a spinal twist, and you could place a cushion underneath your knees if they don't quite connect to the earth. You could really find any variation that suits you. So scientific studies have shown that one of the best ways to move from a place of lack to a place of abundance is to start regularly practicing gratitude. And by practicing gratitude, we can begin to let go of the things that are lacking in our lives. Start to feel an appreciation for what we do have. So I invite you to think about, what are the things that you are truly grateful for having right now? Is it having a roof over your head? Is it having food to eat, clothes to wear? What are you grateful for? Just take a few more breaths. And then we're going to open our right arm and just draw our knees up through center. Send the knees over to the left. Gaze over to the right. Just coming into your twist on this side. Let's remain in that twist for just a couple more breaths. And then just gently bring your knees all the way up. Take the arms around the shins. Give your body a sweet and soft little hug. And then just slowly stretch out one leg and then the next. Bringing your palms face up. Perhaps staying here in your child, perhaps staying here in your shavasana. And if you do want to, you might come into legs up the wall. If you do want to finish off in legs up the wall, you'll just snuggle your body towards the wall and send your legs all the way up. Your heels rest into the wall. Let the blood flow to the brain and the back. Just choose a pose that is restful for you to be led through a meditation. So in whatever shape you've chosen, I want to invite you to think about all the things that you are grateful for. And it's not just the food you eat. It might be the people that prepare it on the farms. The people that deliver it to the grocery store. The people that put it on the shelves. The people that work at the checkout counter. All of these people are playing a part in creating playing a role in your life, helping you be fed, be nourished. What about the things like the air conditioning? You can turn on the lights with the flick of a switch. What else are you grateful for?
Just notice how your energy shifts within your body once you're feeling good. Once you think about how good it is to feel good. Just let that surround you and embrace you. Lingering with it for a few more breaths. And then just let it go, releasing into stillness. Know that I'll bring you back when the time is up. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Give your fingers and toes a little wake up wiggle. Nice long stretch, fingers all the way through toes. Just take your knees into your chest, give your body a sweet little hug. Join me all the way up and seated with your palms at heart center. If you do want to practice hasta mudra one more time, flipping your palms face up. Just remembering our intention of not stealing. Practicing Asteya every day. And then let's just take our palms back together. Closing with our intention, the ancient intention, the original intention, passed from heart to heart through thousands of years. And it's that our practice remains steady and our efforts continuous. And that our yoga helps and heals and serves and benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free. May the thoughts and the actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. Let's just finish with an Om sound, the sound of everything and the sound of nothing. So we'll inhale and exhale and inhale through to make the Om. Taking a breath in, breath out, breath in. Thank you so much, yogis. Thank you for being here, sharing the space and the practice. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Thank you, thank you.